All right, good evening, everyone. I will now call to order the January 27th, 2026 regular meeting of the City of South Pasadena Public Safety Commission at 4:40 PM. Mr. Tiet, please call the roll.
Chair Holguin,
Present.
Vice Chair Liu,
Present.
Commissioner G,
Present.
Commissioner Cervantes,
Present.
Commissioner Sanko,
Present.
Commissioner Reza. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Are there any public comments this evening?
We have one public comment from Miss Yvonne LaRose.
Thank you, Ms. Rose.
And I want to bring up again the matter of ICE and their invasions and preparation, emergency and crisis preparation for the likelihood that they will show up in South Pasadena and or that our residents will be concerned enough to attend any of the rallies and protests or need out resources in order to help those they know who are imperatively impacted by these raids in our neighboring cities. And that's in line with the Brown Act as far as the responsibilities of this body. I want to call attention to the fact that ICE has what are called audits. Those are administrative. They do not involve rounding up people, but we need to be sure that we are observing the proper protocols. They can deliver the notice of intention, called an NOI, but they're not authorized to search anything. Searches are only done with warrants that specify specifically who they want to examine or question and what they want to examine. They are not allowed to go to private areas, back office areas, only public areas. If they block the doors, do not get excited, stay calm under all circumstances. Going back to my criminal procedure classes, do not get excited, stay calm. Ask them to refer to the person who is the point of contact for your business. And that person will take responsibility for answering any questions. Do not allow your employees to engage in social comment, because that's actually fishing for information. If an incident comes up and you find that you have a worker who is undocumented, that is the time when the rapid resource network should be consulted so that you can get in touch with not just an immigration lawyer, but an immigration compliance lawyer. There are also instances when you'll have instances where a person will be dragged out of their car. You'll have instances where you need to document whether the person, how long your person has been on your payroll, whether they've been documented or whether they're documented or not. And the review can go for as long as 2 years prior. Do not destroy your records, but definitely call your lawyer. Reaching out to the Rapid Response Network is the best idea. And this goes across the board, whether it's a church, a school, a business, a government office. It's extremely necessary for us to observe all the cautions that are available and use them. And as we've seen in God bless, these last 2 weeks, we've seen how dramatic things can be. I am disturbed. I've had people come to me and they have expressed their gratitude that I've been so adamant about bringing this issue to you and to City Council. And we need to feel as though we're safe and protected, and that we know what to do if the circumstances become part of our environment. Thank you. And again, if there are questions or if you would like resources, I am available, but I would definitely like to see that these resources that I have collected are put on the city's website so that people do not have to hammer one person or another. They can simply go to the website and collect the information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Mr. Tiet, do we have any further public comment in person or on Zoom?
No public comment.
Okay, with no more public comment, we will move on to action and discussion. Item number 2 on the agenda is consideration of the fire department's report on the use of Bricer for annual protection system inspections. Chief?
Good evening, Commissioners. So the fire department is here before you today proposing implementing Bricer's compliance engine, which is a web-based compliance management system used by fire authorities nationwide to track and enforce required inspections, testing, and maintenance of fire protection and life safety systems. This program would transition inspection report submittals from a manual process to an electronic contractor-driven model that improves compliance, efficiency, and public safety. There is no cost to the city or property owners to implement the system. Fees are paid by third-party inspection contractors. This program integrates with the department's existing first due inspection and pre-incident planning software and would further enhance situational awareness by providing responding personnel with current system status and emergency contract or contact information. Staff is requesting the Commission's recommendation to proceed with the implementation. What Bricer is in this compliance engine, so all of the businesses are required to report on their annual inspections of their fire protection systems. This would not supplant or replace the fire department's annual business inspections, but would actually enhance those because when the contractor comes out and completes work, either inspection for fire alarms, fire sprinkler systems, or other fire protection systems, they're required to submit that report to the fire department. That a lot of times is not happening, or it's going to the wrong place, and so we don't see that. With limited fire prevention staff, we have limited ability to track that down, to keep on task with those companies, with all of the different inspections that we're doing, and the limited staff and the resource that it would take to do that. Bricer takes all of that over. They track compliance, they send reminder letters, they keep track of all of those things, and then for whatever information that is collected, we own that data. That data gets sent into our software, into First Due, which is our fire inspection and prevention software, and then our personnel get to see that. They understand what the current status is of that. It's not a cost to us, to the city. It's about a $27 per submittal that the contractor pays to Bricer in order to put the information up into their portal, and then it is shared with us with that information. And it's basically just for the fire prevention and the safety aspects of that, as well as emergency contact information, which is important. In the case of an emergency, we respond to an alarm, we respond to water flowing, we have somebody that we can contact so that we're helped to reduce damage and then start that process securing the facility. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, thanks, Chief. Any questions from my colleagues? No. Just one question for you, Chief. Does this new program in any way alter the duties of anyone in the Fire Protection Bureau or anyone else in the department?
No, it wouldn't change. Like I said, it wouldn't supplant, but what it would do is it provides a more streamlined method for us. It makes us in doing our jobs easier because we already have that information as far as the status of those fire protection systems.
Okay, so we're not replacing anybody, we're
We're
just
not
adding to
replacing
our.
anybody. No, we're not supplanting staff. We're not trying to automate to remove anybody. It actually is something that we're looking forward to because of the amount of it would help with the current workload that our staff is currently undertaking.
All right, thank you, Chief. So you're asking for us to recommend that you move forward. So I would entertain a motion if there is one to recommend that the fire department move forward with implementing Bricer. Do I have a motion on that?
Do you mind if I ask one question real quick?
Yes, please.
Forgive me, I apologize.
Yeah.
But one more thing occurred to me during your guys' exchange is, so this would be a information capture system for fire inspections. Is it something that you can manipulate if additional items come up that you want to add to queries moving forward? In other words, if you want to add things to inspection items, if you want to add inspection items in the future to properties, it's something that you can do.
So that's
using the
a
system.
great question, Commissioner, and that would not be through Bricer, but that would be through our own inspection software.
Okay.
And so this is a very small portion. It deals directly with the protection systems. And so a contractor will come out, they'll do an annual inspection on the system. What this does is this gives, instead of them mailing it to the fire department, which oftentimes just doesn't happen, and we don't, and we're not keeping track of it just because of workload and all of that. We're not looking for the business, hey, you need to send that in, you need to do that, follow up. So this company does exactly just that. They say, hey, you're due for your inspection, the contractor needs to upload it to Bricer, and then they feed us that data into our program that says, this fire protection system was inspected on this date and it passed and it's compliant. Or we'll get a list of, these are the ones that are not compliant. So it's a great tool for us.
Thank you.
Great.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Is this include things like businesses having sprinkler systems for in case of fires or things like that?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So this would be fire sprinklers, fire alarm systems, standpipes, fire protection systems. So it's not all businesses, but it's just the businesses that have some kind of a fire protection or alarm. Then they're required already to have those inspected on a regular basis. And so this is just providing a means of reporting that to this. And then with your approval and recommendation, we'll move forward to council with a service level agreement with Bricer, and then most likely in some type of an ordinance within the city that says for all businesses, they have to upload to that.
Thank you.
Chief, on the ordinance, are we planning, and I know it's not written yet and it has to go to city attorney and everything, but are we planning to name Bricer explicitly or just reference software?
It will probably be a generic with the city's, it'll say with the city's approved or the city's contracted compliance provider.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? No. Okay. Would anyone like to make the motion to recommend that the fire department move forward with entering into an agreement to implement the Bricer Compliance Management Program?
I'd like to make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Tiet, please call the roll. We have a motion and a second.
Chair Holguin,
Aye.
Vice Chair Liu,
Aye.
Commissioner G,
Aye.
Commissioner Cervantes,
Aye.
Commissioner Senko,
Aye.
Commissioner Reza. Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
And we'll also receive and file the report.
Perfect.
Okay, moving on to item number 4 now. The South Pasadena Fire Department Annual Weed Abatement Parcel List. Ordinance number 2406, to revise the general provisions applicable to all commissions. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. Go back to number 4, sorry. Fire Department, Annual Weed Abatement Parcel List. Thanks, Chief.
Got it. Perfect, Commission. So we're asking just as receive and file report authorized in the county Los Angeles Agriculture Commissioner's Office to inspect and abate weeds, brush, and native vegetation that present existing or potential fire hazards within the city, and to schedule a public hearing to hear objections or protests. This is going to go before council on the 4th of February, and we wanted to bring it before you first to answer any questions or just so you understand, this is part of our annual weed abatement program. We've been running a weed abatement program since 2011, and we've been working with the Los Angeles County Agriculture Commissioner's Office since 2021. The 2021 agreement will expire in 2026, and council's already approved a new agreement. But I just wanted to kind of walk through the process with you all. Letters went out or will go out in the first week of February to 89 property owners that own vacant lots or properties within the city of South Pasadena. This is strictly for vacant properties and lots, so this isn't part of any properties that have structures on them or houses, so they have to be vacant. Structured properties fall under code enforcement that we work with hand in hand to work through that process. But this process with the Los Angeles County Agriculture Commissioner's Office deals strictly with vacant parcels of land. So those letters go out in February. The individuals have until June to abate the fields or the parcels on their own. The goal is always self-abatement. The goal is always for them to do that themselves. But if they choose not to, once the deadline in June is passed, the Los Angeles County Agriculture Commissioner's Office will go out, they'll inspect the property. If it is not compliant, they will abate the property, and then they will send the bill to the property owner or basically attach it to their tax roll, so it becomes a part of their property tax. This happens year after year. We find that some people just choose to have the county do it, and that's fine. There is an additional fee, an administrative fee that's assessed with that. We don't see any of the money. All of the money goes to that, but it doesn't cost the city anything. The city doesn't pay for the inspections. The city does not pay for the abatement or any of the administrative costs, and that's part of our agreement. We've renewed the agreement that will take place in July of 26, moving forward, and there have been no substantive changes to that new agreement, and other than that they have basically said that they reserve the right to contract out if their workload is such that they're not able to handle it in-house. And so that's pretty much been the changes with that. It's a great program. It definitely is something that we support as staff and as the fire department that moves forward continually. In 2025, we had 86 properties. We're now at 89. We just happened to find a few that were missing. They were not new properties. I think a couple of them went through a lot split. And so during that lot split, one of the properties stayed on and the other one fell off. So we were able to clean that up and make sure that we're all taken care of. So the county sends us that list every year. We verify it, we send it back to them, and then we move forward. And with that, I'll take any questions. Yes. So because the Caltrans houses have a structure on them, they don't fall within the vacant property within that. But what we do when we have weed abatement concerns with them, we do reach out to Caltrans directly and then work with them through the process of making sure that they're abating those.
All right, thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Chair Hogan, we have a public comment
Okay, go ahead.
from Miss Yvonne LaRose.
This is on the weed abatement list? Okay, on item number 3, we are tabling item number 3 to make some corrections on the minutes. So we're skipping that item. Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Rose.
There's another matter that's of concern to me. I wonder if I can use some initial 2 minutes to bring that to your attention. Because of the Citizens Academy that was recently completed, it was brought out the way people who are taken by the police department to Huntington Hospital are treated and then released. And it's inhumane. The people may have soiled their clothes. And what happens, this is through experience, I've seen this. What happens is they are not offered clean clothes to replace the ones that are soiled. The debris is smeared over their bodies, and then they're released back into the public wearing those same clothes. I would like, it gets worse, but I would like for us to consider finding some way to appeal to Huntington to be more humane, use more humanitarian measures with people who have come to their emergency services, whether they come from a police escort, EMTs, or whatever. No doubt the trauma that they're expressing and their actions are because of the having undergone the treatment that they have with Huntington as an example. It would be good for Huntington to release them with clean clothes or their clothes, but they've been laundered before they're put back into them. And it's quite a concern. And through the academy, they spoke of one man who was already wearing soiled clothes and had a Huntington bracelet. And so they apprehended him, took him back because of other injuries that were incurred during their arrest. And he was about to get a second Huntington bracelet, still wearing those soiled clothes. So I would appreciate someone looking into this. I've spoken to the Y to see if they can make donations to Huntington for patients who are in these type of conditions. But that conversation needs to be continued. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Any further public comment on the prior item, Mr. Tiet?
No
I'd
public
like to
comment.
follow up on Ms. LaRose's comment. I actually was a patient at the Huntington a few months ago, and there was this person that came in. He obviously was a homeless person, like a unhoused person, and it was a terrible story behind it. It wasn't that he had attacked anyone or anything, but this person was in pain. And the saddest part was I was on the bed next to him. And what the Huntington was doing is they were saying, well, you need to go to a private doctor and all this. And there's nothing else we can do for you. And I didn't think about the clothes. However, I remember the last thing I remember from this man was saying, but I am so hungry. But the Huntington said, I'm sorry, you have to go. I mean, have a heart and give them something to eat. Give them something to eat. Don't put them out on the street just the way they are like that. So I'm just want to add, because I saw it with my own eyes. I'm fortunate that I had insurance, Medicare, private insurance, and all those things. So my case was totally different. I was treated with deference and courtesy, but this person was a human being. And the Huntington is making tons and tons of money. I am sure they could spare a meal. But I did not think about the clothes. This man was in rags, so he could have used some clothes too.
Ms. LaRose, I'll take your concerns to the Scout Troop and see if there's anyone who's interested in doing it as an Eagle Scout project. I can probably connect them with people at Huntington and connect them with people at different places that can donate clothes like Salvation Army, Goodwill, etc.
If I could just make a quick comment as somebody who works in an emergency department also, it's, there are two sides to every story, and the truth is usually somewhere in the middle. SB 1152 requires that emergency departments and hospitals provide clothing and food to people experiencing homelessness before they're discharged. Sometimes that happens without other patients around seeing. Sometimes situations are complicated, as all of our public safety members certainly understand. But the point I want to make is actually something different. I really appreciate, Beth, your comment about getting some of our civic groups, including our Boy Scouts, involved in these types of efforts. But also, this commission is well poised to request presentations on services, perhaps without complaints, but requesting presentations on services from our local hospitals. I know from our pre-hospital care coordinator at Huntington Hospital, there's a tremendous amount of respect for our fire service specifically here, and that's because our leadership holds them to a high standard, and that's a relationship that should be valued. But I think we're also poised to lean into that and request presentations that opportune, I don't know, us asking questions like this, but also appreciating all the work that they do for us. And that includes both Huntington as well as Alhambra and perhaps LA County USC, which is our pediatric medical and trauma center. And so something for us to consider in the future, and also happy to work on getting representatives from there to come and speak a little bit about their services to our public safety committee if this group would be so inclined.
Is that something we can put on the agenda for several months from now?
Yeah, I think we can. I don't believe we can take any action on it today because this was not an agendized item, so that would present some Brown Act concerns, but we can request that it be placed on a future agenda to take action on it at that time.
I think the more that we can engage with them too, it's better for our community members that they understand that we're leaning into our relationships with them, and I think that'll create additional opportunities.
All right, thank you everyone for that discussion. Moving then on to item number 5 on the agenda, ordinance number 2406, revising the general provisions applicable to all commissions and amending certain sections of various articles for individual commissions and amending the South Pasadena Municipal Code. Do we have a presentation on this item? Seeing none. Okay, we will table that for another day. All right, let's move on to item number 6 then, City Council Liaison Communications. Do we have any communications from City Council Liaison? I see Vice Mayor Ferguson has his hand raised. Mr. Tiet on Zoom. Mr. Vice Mayor, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you folks hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Let me go ahead and make sure I don't know if I have my, sorry, I don't have my camera on. Let me get that sorted out. Sorry. So yeah, I am trying to sorry I was a bit late to the meeting. I was actually going to the doctor, so maybe I should have went there and tried to get Commissioner Simcoe to help me out. But I am I heard the conversation regarding the putting something on the agenda for a future meeting. I think so long as you motion and second that, you could probably do that through action this evening. It wouldn't be to discuss it, but it would be to have it on a future agenda. So I just want to kind of raise that point. Um, and I think that's probably the main thing that I have to communicate, unless there's any questions for me.
Yeah, I appreciate that, sir. I'm not sure if you heard the discussion, but we did have an item on the agenda to go over the new changes to the commissions, their structure, and the changes to the municipal code. Is there anything that you would like to add on that piece? We didn't receive a presentation on that this
Who was
evening, but it was
scheduled?
agendized.
Oh, who was scheduled to provide that presentation?
Mr. Tiet, do you know? Give us one sec. He's looking.
Okay.
The cover sheet has the city manager's name, but I don't know if he's the one who was actually scheduled to appear today.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I don't have like a presentation prepared to talk about it, but I can just say that like briefly that one of the things that has happened is that and that one of the things that we're working on within this year's work plan is to try to ensure that the commissions can be more substantive for folks. I mean, I heard you loud and clear during our last meeting, and those are all things that I communicated to the mayor because this is something that she is currently working on and meeting with Todd about as far as like how the agendas get set, having how the work plans get set, and kind of just creating some structure behind more structure behind how our commissions operate to kind of help establish some consistency, but then also to just kind of I think make voices more heard and accounted for. So I think tabling this and putting it on a future agenda could definitely be helpful as far as giving Todd an opportunity to kind of speak to it. Um, and just know that like I'm what your comments in our previous discussion did not land on deaf ears.
I have a question for,
Yeah.
so last time we had voted on our recommendation for the 4th of July, and I wanted to see what city council had thought of that.
We haven't agendized it yet. I think it was scheduled to be put in front of the Community Services Commission. I think that there were some concerns regarding the way the report, some of the details within the report as far as like the cost and et cetera. But and so I'm not sure if it got to the Community Services Commission yet. But I think the idea for city staff was to kind of take it through commissions and get some recommendations prior to putting it in front of the council, was what I last saw of it. If that is that helpful?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, just one more question for you
Yeah.
from me. I believe that new liaisons were agendized. Are you still our liaison, or do we have a new person?
I think you're stuck with me.
Wonderful. We're excited to have you. Any other questions?
And you know, I will say, let me just say, you don't want what I have, so I'm doing you all a favor by staying away.
We appreciate that. Thank you. It's a small room here, not a lot of windows.
Right,
Hope you're
right.
feeling better soon.
Thank you, thank you.
We got a lot of medical professionals up here if you need them.
I know. I might have been in good hands. I might have been in good hands.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, moving on then to item number 7, staff liaison communications. Do we have any communications from PD or fire?
Good evening, Commissioners. Just wanted to share some information for you. So we started 4 new employees on Monday. So we're excited about that. They're starting their 1-week orientation, and then they'll be hitting the floor next week. That's going to bring us pretty close to fully staffed. We have 1 opening with a promotion. Firefighter Alex Kachatourian was successfully promoted to engineer, and he started on Monday as well in his new position. So that leaves us a firefighter paramedic vacancy. We have open recruitment for that right now, and so we're moving through and anxious to move towards fully staffing. Our anticipation, talking with Lieutenant Robledo and I, will be coming to you next month with a work plan or some ideas moving forward for 2026. And I'm just going to add into Commissioner Senko, I think your idea is great, and having those people come forward and presenting those ideas, local hospitals, different opportunities, local mental health or providers or that are things like that that can come and share with the commission and community of what's going on. So we're fully supportive of that. And thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And nothing from PD? We're good? Oh, Lieutenant? Head faked us.
Afternoon, Commissioners. Looks like we will be having a police chief starting on Monday. City Council, I'm sorry, the city manager will be making an announcement. That's all I have.
Big news. Thank you.
Wasn't there some sort of event that was coming up, or did it already happen, where you wanted the city commissioners, the safety commissioners to appear at? Somebody was, did that already happen?
Nope, I believe it is on Monday morning at 9 a.m. up in
Oh, okay.
Beth, I think I just looked at my notes. I think this may be what you're referring to. I have in my notes February 21st promotion and badge pinning ceremony.
Yes, that was the one. Is that still happening?
I think that's fire.
Yep.
Yes, February 21st is our badge pinning and promotional ceremony that you are all invited to. It's at 10 a.m. at the fire station on Saturday, February 21st. We are going to have probably almost 50% of our department up on the stage, either in promotion or in their 1 year coming off probation or their new hires. And so we're going to see a lot of new faces. It would be great to have you out there and to show them really what an amazing city is that they get to serve and the support that they have. So please, if you have any questions, please let me know. It's at 10 a.m. on Saturday, February 21st.
I had a question for Lieutenant Robledo, and this is, do we have a new, what you call, detective? I know Richard Lee left. Is there anyone that has been appointed to take up his position?
Not at this time. We are working on that position. We are looking to get that position filled with a civilian, and we just have to put a work order in order to get the confines of that person's work. So that's a work in progress, and myself and Deputy Chief have been working on that project.
You're referring to his crime analyst hat, right? Not his detective hat.
That's correct. So the crime analyst portion of it was 90% of what he did. So we want to fill that. That doesn't mean we're taking away a detective from that unit.
And will this person be also in charge of the neighborhood watch program?
Yep, they will be pretty much the face of it. However, during that time, I would like to make some arrangements of having our corporals or our sergeants have certain areas within the city. That way they'll be the face of that certain area. So our city's broken down into 4 beats. It's basically just cut across the middle, up Fair Oaks and across Monterey. And so we would like to assign a sergeant or a corporal to attend the meetings, the neighborhood watch meetings in those areas.
When you say you're going to hire a civilian, are you looking within City of South Pasadena? Where is this information posted in terms of, what website do they go to inquire about this?
So the
course?
crime analyst is a very special position where you have to go to schooling specifically for a crime analyst. So none of our employees are currently qualified. However, we will be looking elsewhere for a civilian to fit that position.
So you're looking for an analyst and not a detective?
Correct.
Okay.
I have a question. How about the staffing level? How many vacancies do we have for the PD?
So currently we are down 4 officers, and we do have 2 that we made job offers to. So in reality, they'll still have to go to the academy, complete field training to be solo. So we're still looking at about over a year for them to be actually patrol officers on their own. And then after that, we have 2 openings, which we are working on to try to fill those as well. So we're pretty close.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Hi. One thing I just wanted to mention was kind of to what Lieutenant Robledo was talking about was that the city of Alhambra, they have a civilian staff that handles a lot of the neighborhood watch coordination. And from what I saw of like attending one of their events, was that they seem to do a really good job of it. So I think that it's a model that could be very helpful for us, especially as we kind of like navigate having continuity within that program with potential staff turnover, retirement, et cetera. So I just wanted to kind of add that into that discussion.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to item number 8, Commissioner Communications. Does anyone have anything they would like to share or take the opportunity, as the Mayor Pro Tem suggested, that we move to agendize future items that you guys have requested?
Thank you. So I know maybe 3 years ago, we had a consultant come to look at all of the police and fire, how we could optimize both departments. I would like to revisit that again to see if we've made improvements based on their recommendations. I think it's been a while. Secondly, I really like the things that Commissioner Sanko brought up. That would be really wonderful. So I second that. In terms of other things that I would like to see on agendized in the future, I would like to revisit our GIS system. What I heard about it in the past, I haven't seen any other updates to it, so I personally would like to see that. And I agree with City Council Member Ferguson on how Alhambra does a pretty good job with their neighborhood watch program. I used to live in Alhambra about 13 years ago, and they actually, the officers would come out to every track that they were in charge of, and they went knocking door to door and was able to get neighborhoods to come together and have formal meetings. So I would love to see that in South Pass. Thank you.
I wanted to ask regards the flock cameras. what is the outcome of it? I remember hearing that some people were very much against them, and from what I understand, it has been such a terrific instrument for the city, for the police department to able to catch somebody who was stealing something, that was stealing a car or doing something. It has been like a third eye. So, but the concern of the people that have been raised was, is this information going to be fed into the federal government, ICE in particular? And that was their concern. I really would like to hear that that is not the case, that is strictly for the benefit of keeping this city safe and our property and our citizens safe. So I think it would be reassuring if City Council or if this commission has a vote of confidence again to the flag cameras, because I think that they were and they have been a positive plus to this point. So I think I see a raised hand. Go ahead.
I just want to give you some feedback, regarding that. It will likely come before City Council on February 18th for discussion. That's when it's currently scheduled. And then after that, we'll probably be looking for direction from the commissions after that discussion on the 18th. So I just ask that you give us a little bit of time to get through the 18th council meeting.
Understood. Thank you. Commissioner, any other comments?
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you regards the situation in the park, in the Garfield Park. And what I noticed is there is been within the past few months, you cannot walk through the park on the walkways that you have without having some young person or not so young coming into a scooter, an electrical scooter, and zooming by you and almost knocking you down. And my understanding was that those are not supposed to be for scooters to transit through. So we need to make certain that to keep our seniors and our children safe, that we make a point that this is not the use or those motorized scooters should not be in the park, in the walkways for the park. I don't have any idea how to implement that, but it's a real serious concern. And the second thing is when I see sometimes the games, the jungle gym that you have for the little kids, sometimes I see that this, I have a granddaughter that is 19 months old, so she likes to go and play there. But then I noticed that there are some teenagers way past the age of being on the jungle gym, and they're climbing in all those things, and they will not get out of the way. And another thing too, what I find so dangerous is they start climbing on the trees, on our trees that, if they fall, the first thing they do is sue the city because they got injured. So this is something that we need to protect the city as well as keep our young folks safe. This jungle gym, this is slides, and this is stuff should be for the little kids, not for teenagers, 16 and 15 and whatever. They barely fit in those things, but they are there. So I I know this is going to be very unpopular response from many of these folks that do that, but I think we should make every effort to keep these people, our younger population safe.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commissioner comments?
Yeah, brief update from the LA County EMS Commission. Our cardiac arrest task force has now entered its 9th month. This commission heard a presentation from Dr. Michael Stone, an emergency and EMS physician, several months ago. The medical director of the county, Nicole Bosson, myself, and Dr. Stone have been helping to lead this effort. And we recently issued letters to all fire departments around the entire county, this one included, for South Pasadena, as well as all hospitals in the county. So roughly 30 fire departments and nearly 100 hospitals, asking them to develop institutional cardiac arrest preparedness plans. For the fire departments, that'll include community consultation. And I just want to mention that we had our first plan development clinics yesterday, and South Pasadena was well represented by our nurse educator as well as one or two other members. And I want to again thank Dr. Stone for all of his efforts in helping to lead this, his availability to our community to work on this, as well as Chief Lloyd's openness and foresight to take this up early on. This has been a part of our agenda for the whole last year. And we have a group of people of many walks of life here in South Pasadena who have volunteered to be part of our committee to review this for our city, including older adults, representatives from a skilled nursing facility, one of our local CPR training groups, the high school, a member of the PTA, and other medically inclined individuals, as well as from our civic groups, including Rotary and the Boy Scouts. And so we're lucky to have the level of participation that we do in our community, and I look forward to bringing more information back on this as we move forward with our plan here in South Pasadena. And I think that was it. With regard to the other item I brought up earlier today, having presentations from our local hospitals, perhaps almost as a way of flipping the script, not us expecting service from them, but them coming and kind of presenting to us what they have. I would make a motion that, or I don't know if I can do this. I would make a motion that we ask our fire department leadership perhaps to engage our local PCCs, engage our local hospitals, and ask for a representative from the emergency departments of Arcadia, Alhambra, Huntington, and LA County USC. I'm happy to help facilitate those wherever I can to make presentations, maybe not all at the same time so they don't feel that they're competing with each other, but, one a meeting to let them know what their services are that are available, and so that we can look for ways to perhaps publicize those and keep people in our community aware of what's out there, and also deepen our engagement with our local medical centers.
Could you include maybe San Gabriel Valley Medical Center, Garfield, Verdugo Hills Hospital, maybe Glendale Adventist? I don't know if you want to go out that far, and then USC Arcadia.
Yeah, it's a lot of folks. I'm happy to include. I think maybe the best way to phrase this motion would be to request that our fire department facilitate presentations from local individuals through invitations to our local hospitals that are interested and willing to participate to come make presentations to our public safety committee about the services that they provide.
Okay, do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay, so let me see if I got this right. The motion is to request that the fire department facilitate presentations from local hospitals about services that they provide.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on that item?
I mean, if you'd like to just include within a certain radius to make it easier for the fire department, we'd be welcome to entertain what is reasonable or what's within bandwidth.
Could also include destinations that our fire department transports to.
Are you making a friendly amendment to your motion? Or are you
Yes.
making an amendment to your own motion? It wouldn't be friendly because you are the maker of the motion, but,
It's friendly nonetheless. Yeah.
okay, so what is your motion now then?
Motion is to request that the fire department invite representatives from hospitals to whom they transport patients to come make presentations to our Public Safety Commission about the services that they provide.
Okay, thank you. And we still have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? No, seeing none. Mr. Tiet, could you please call the roll on that motion?
Chair Holguin,
Aye.
Vice Chair Liu,
Aye.
Commissioner G,
Aye.
Commissioner Cervantes,
Aye.
Commissioner Sanko,
Aye.
Commissioner Reza. Motion passes.
Great, thank you. Any further commissioner communications? You good?
I had one question. I think this would be a question for our city staff. Would it be possible to have our PR person come to one of these meetings in the future to just give us an update on how she is doing with publicizing our, I guess, our events or suggestions?
I can answer that, Commissioner. I think the recommendation is part of the 20 of your 2026 agendas as you're talking that, is I would recommend that you would agenda an opportunity for that, for the presentation. And if you want regular updates or quarterly updates or anything like that, we can take that work plan and bring that forward as a part. You bet.
Okay, any further commissioner communications? No, seeing none. With no further items or comments from staff or commission, I will now adjourn this meeting at 5:37 PM. Our next regular meeting is scheduled on March 24th, 2026 at 5:30 PM. Thank you, we are adjourned.